Hello and welcome to this video from Maidenhead Bridge. In this video we are going to see how to deploy the Cloud Security Connector for Zscaler, the Maidenhead Bridge Cloud Security Connector for Zscaler, via the Azure Marketplace. In this demonstration we are going to see how to deploy a Cloud Security Connector in high availability and using connecting to Zscaler, primary secondary node, creating the IPsec tunnels. And also we are going to see how to do bypasses to direct to the internet when you want to reach destinations via your own public IP. Everything will be done in route mode. The connector has multiple modes, has a proxy mode and route mode. But in route mode we will see this demonstration. The objective of this demonstration is to see how to deploy the connectors using Marketplace. The connector helps you to connect to Zscaler, helps you to do bypasses, and helps you to connect to your site-to-site communications. Then the connector is we can say three devices in one. Is a gateway to Zscaler, is a proxy to Zscaler, is a NAT gateway. You can replace your Azure NAT gateway, and also is a replacement of your VPN gateway, or Azure VPN gateway. It's multiple devices in one. In this demonstration, I will deploy these two. I have a Bastion host in my VNet in this private subnet, and I'm accessing via public IP to the Bastion host to do the initial configuration of the connector. And after, we're going to create a default route via the connector and to show how availability works. Let's put hands-on. First thing first, let's take a look of the VNet subnets and route tables. This is my VNet in my region. I'm in UK South, and I have different internal subnets, and I have this external subnet for the connector and the internal subnet for the connector. This is the subnets I need here for the connector. And each subnet is attached to a route table. Then I have this external route table, and this external route table is sending all traffic to the internet because the connector needs to reach locations on the internet. And the internal subnet, the route table internal subnet, well, you can this route is for the Bastion host going back to my location, and I will delete when it's in production because I don't need the Bastion host anymore. But the default route to the internet will be virtual appliance that's host attributes via the CSC gateway. At the moment, I have not the CSC gateway installed. Then let's take a look of next step. Present the Bastion host. Well, this is my Bastion host. I'm using this software to SSH. I did an SSH to the public IP of the Bastion host that is behind on the internal private IP. Okay, let's take a look of the CSC on the marketplace. If from your compute or internal sites I have the Bastion host here, I will add the connectors. Then you can do a search at Maidenhead Bridge, and this is the model CSC MOOCs for Zscaler PCPA 1, 2, 4, and 8. There is other publications for other products and other Zscaler, but this is the same. You need to use this one. Then I will click here, and you need to select which is your subscription and also which model and the way do you want to deploy. For this demonstration, I will deploy a CSC MOOCs 2 in availability zones, but I can choose availability sets. This is when you have in the same data center in different racks or without any specific infrastructure. What is the CSC MOOCs 1, 2, 4, and 8? Zscaler provides 400 Mbps per IPsec tunnel. Then if you need more bandwidth to Zscaler, more than 400, you need a device that is capable to do two tunnels and to load balance the traffic via using the tunnels. The connector is a load balancer, it has an internal load balancer. Then if you want to get more bandwidth to Zscaler than 400, a single IPsec tunnel, you need a connector for this. It's very popular that this connector is CSC MUX2 because it allows 800 Mbps, but we have models that are bigger than this. This is number 4 tunnels, 1.6 gig, or CSC Max 8, 3.2 So this guy is a lot of traffic to Zscaler. Then let's go and let's deploy the CSC Max in availability zones. CSC Max 2 availability zones here. This correct my subscription create. If this is your first time, you will be asked to accept the license. My resource group is in UK South. My region is UK South. I will deploy 2 in high availability, Zone 1, Zone 2. I will put this name via RM template, this name. And I will use an SSH key and using existing in public key. And I have the public key here. This is the public key for SSH. Good. Next, virtual machine size. You can use different size if you want. In my case, I won't using this. And storage, you can use a standard or premium, whatever you want. In terms of networking, here is where you need to pay attention. I will select my VNet with my subnets. External subnet I created, and internal subnet. It's extremely easy to deploy. Next, configure user data. You can leave empty if you want, or you can use config user data. Config user data JSON file is when you want to pass DNS servers, syslog information, create the credentials automatically, create a lot of things automatically. I'm not using it because I want to show on this demonstration how to do manually, but if you have experience with the connector, you can pass most values directly via the config user data JSON file. And now let's click on create and deployment will start. Okay, it's creating the public IPs, it's creating the security groups, it's creating all interfaces. The deployment will create everything you need for a perfect setup to Zscaler. Then you don't need to be worried about this. The connector is fully automated, and the connector can also select the primary nodes, secondary nodes, and both. Meanwhile, this is happening, just in case it takes some time. Meanwhile, we can use the time to take a look of the traffic redirection options of the connector. We have a video showing in detail the traffic redirection options to Zscaler and private traffic, but let's talk about generic first. The connector is a gateway to Zscaler, and it's a proxy to Zscaler as well. Why you need both things? Well, you need a gateway to Zscaler, for example, when you have Windows desktops or virtual desktops, and in that case you can route all traffic via the connector, and all traffic will hit Zscaler, and Zscaler will intercept, protect, filter before you go to the internet or when you want to download something. This is the easy way, route everything. The connector has also the function to bypass traffic. For example, if you don't want to go via Zscaler because you need your public IP, the connector can do that. Then it's a gateway to Zscaler. But when you have this type of servers, internal servers, and you don't want them to go to the internet, or you want to protect a little bit more, then the best way to do that is to use proxy mode. especially in front-end servers, because the front-end server has the default route to the internet. When the customer comes here, you need the default route to reply to the customer. But when this server is going to the internet, not replying requests. When going to the internet for security updates or these type of things, or you have a Java, you have functions, you have Docker, you need to download things. You are not going clean to the internet directly. You need to protect when this server initiates communications. Then the best way is to put the proxy on the server and to use the CSC VIP proxy functionality for it. Same for the backend servers and same for corporate servers on the cloud. You need to protect them, and potentially the best way is to isolate, to put in an isolate subnet with no route, default route to the internet, and use proxy, because Zscaler is extremely powerful proxy and will help you to isolate and protect your environment. Then the connector here is a gateway to Zscaler. You can route traffic, you can proxy traffic, and also you can bypass traffic, and is a replacement of the NAT gateway. Additionally, this is not the connector has a functionality for site-to-site traffic, private traffic. This is not to the internet. For example, when you need to access from other locations these devices, you can use the connector and the functionality of pre-CPA. That will provide site-to-site communication for private traffic. If the user is remote, is at home, in that case, you need to use Zscaler CPA, private access, for remote. You will have the CPA connector here. But remember, the connector also is a replacement for the VPN gateway, Azure VPN gateway. You don't need to use an Azure VPN gateway. The connector provides pre-CPA, a full mesh encrypted network with zero trust and any-to-any communications. You don't need to do tunnels. The connector has the intelligence. The connector helps you for private traffic and public traffic. It's a very complete machine. Well, let's take a look at our deployment. Our deployment is complete now. Then going back to the virtual machines, let's take a look on my location. And now I have these two connectors. The first thing I need to do is to connect to the connect. Let me see if I'm following the demonstration. I don't want to miss. Create the two. Create the VPN credentials. Okay. Let's start contacting the connector. And I'm here. If I go to networking, network settings, in this drop-down menu, select CSC gateway IP. This is the internal interface, internal one. This is the external interface. In the external interface, we have two tunnels to Zscaler and one IP for bypass. Internally, we have the proxies and the gateway. This is my gateway. This is the IP of my web, 61.1.5. Then I will go to my device. Let me edit and have this. And let's put 5, save and connect. Okay, this is for number 1. And number 2, network settings, CSC gateway IP is the 8. We go to my software here, edit number 8, save and connect. Okay. Now I am on the connectors. As you can see, the initial configuration is asking me for Zscaler values and credentials. VPN credentials. Go to VPN credentials, create a credential, and go to location and associate the credential to the location. On the Zscaler, let's take a look of the Zscaler console. Then go to administration, VPN credentials, create the credential. I already created this one that is attached to this location. Then the credential is a full qualified domain name. Then this is the input you will need to put on the connector, this email and the pre-share key. Now go to location, management, and let's search for the location that I have already created. This is my location. If I click on edit, this is the values of the location, you can see the VPN credential is associated here. Okay, it's very simple. VPN, create a VPN credential, associate the VPN credential to a location, period. 2 steps. Now on the connector, we are going to configure the connector. Then my VPN credential is this one. Copy. Then I will come here, number 1, which is your Zscaler cloud. In my case, it's Zscaler 3, manual automatic. That's the connector to select automatically the best node. Do you want to put the credential? Yes. The email is this one. This is my pre-share key. Do you want to implement these values? Yes. Now the connector is picking up the primary node, secondary node, and I need to apply. You want to apply? Yes. Go. Okay. Now this is the number 2. Let's do the same. So Zscaler 3 automatically. My email. Yes. Okay. The Bastion host for this moment, meanwhile the connector is booting, has no access to the internet at all. Then my next step is for my Bastion host is to create a route via the first connector. Then let's take a look about routing. Route internal. Okay. This is the route table internal. This is where the Bastion host is. I will put on this route for to the internet. I will put the connector. I think it's 5. First connector, number 61.5 as a next hop, and save. Okay, perfect. Now I need to go to the connector and check if the connector is alive. It's already alive, or if I need to wait. I need to wait a little bit more now. And let me check the sequence here. Connector is rebooting. Shows a Zscaler, reinitial configuration reboot, login and show the tunnel app. Put the internet route. Okay. Put internal route via the next hop. I did it. And the next step is to test to Zscaler via Bastion host. Okay. Good. I need to wait a little bit because it takes time to reboot. Let's go. Okay, this is number 1. This is number 2. Okay, both are up. Connector takes about 90 seconds to put everything up. Then I need to wait a little bit. It's connected. The IPsec information is connected. It's connected to London 3 and almost good here. I need to wait a little bit more because the internal load balancer is still showing down the tunnels, but it will turn up very soon. Same here. It's 31 seconds. After the initial boot, I'm using London 3. Okay, now the internal load balancer put the connector up. Then, because I have the full route to the internet via the connector, I am connected. Okay. Then now the ping works. The Bastion host is via the connector via Zscaler. To show that traffic is via Zscaler, I will go to here and I will do a curl testing the page ip.zscaler.com. Paste. Okay, you are accessing via London 3 and Zscaler 3. This is your IP of the tunnel. And the other test that I will do is curl portquiz.net. And as you can see, this is Zscaler IP 147.167. Okay, now the Bastion host is protected via Zscaler, is routing via here and going to the tunnels. The next step on this demonstration is to configure Advanced NAT Gateway on each CSC. I will bypass these two sites, ipmaidenheadbridge.com and ipinfo.com. When the Bastion host want to reach that site, it will go direct via this red line, avoiding Zscaler. How is the Advanced NAT Gateway configuration? Well, you need to create a JSON file, and the JSON file is extremely easy. The JSON file contains routes, groups, and firewall rules inside each group. I have this is the Advanced NAT Gateway functionality. Then everything you put here will bypass Zscaler and will go direct. But you can create rules, firewall rules, but protocol, source IP, destination IP, single port, and range of ports. This is extremely powerful. And near the bottom, I have the, for example, the Office 365 endpoints. This is the Office 365 destinations, and I'm bypassing all of them for my network. It's a very short list now. It's not like in the past. The Office 365 was extremely long. Today is a small list, and with the connector you can bypass Office 365 very easily if you want. For testing site, for this demonstration, I'm going to bypass ipinfo.io and ipmaidenheadbridge.com. This is the destinations front, and this is the protocol and port I need to do. Okay, then let's go and do the demonstration. This is my Bastion, and here is my data. If I do curl maidenheadbridge.com from the Bastion, I need to apply the values, of course. It's going to be a Zscaler because I didn't put the values. I need to configure this URL. This URL, my JSON file is in a bucket. This is on AWS, but you can put a bucket in a blob in Azure as well. What I'm going to configure now on each connector is the outbound firewall configuration. 11 use URL, and I will put the URL. Okay, one important point here: my bucket is secure by source IP. Then I need to whitelist the public IPs of the connector if I want this to work. Let's do this easily. I have a Terraform because it's much easier using Terraform than on Outdoors. Azure UK South. Let me add whitelist my IPs of Azure UK South. For this purpose, you only need to whitelist tunnel 1, but I'm going to whitelist the others just in case. I'm going to continue using for other purposes. Control B, and the other connector as well. Okay. last one. Well, you know how to. Okay, now if I come here and do open integrated terminal, Terraform, apply. Okay, we'll add all this and I will, yes. Okay, it's done. This is my URLs. Now, if I back to the connector number 1, 11, refresh, it works. I can get access to the bucket. And I will do the same for the other bucket, for the other connector. Copy. And 11, configure the URL of the bucket. Do you want to refresh? Yes. I have access to the bucket and I can apply the rules. Okay. It's very fast. All rules were created. It's very fast device. Now the Bastion host, if I do crawl ipmaidenhead.com, it show me the local, the bypass public IP of this connector because I'm routing via this connector. Okay, this is the IP you need to wireless in the other end when you bypass a Zscaler, the bypass public IP. Then, well, extremely simple to do. And my next step on the demonstration is to do call ipinfo.io, that it will show you the Bastion host here. It will show you that this IP belongs to Microsoft. Good. As you can see now, we did the traffic to Zscaler and bypass traffic. Then now we are going to configure high availability. The first thing I need to do is to apply identity roles on the connector, on each one. Then I will back to my devices here, and in each one I will apply on identity. I will apply roles for the for this machine, scope resource group, and the role is contributor. Come on. Contributor, and add role assignment, scope resource group, and taking network contributor. Why I need to apply this role? This is because network contributor. This is because the connector will talk with via the API. Will talk with the Azure API, and it will change the route table automatically for you. Let me select the scope resource group. It's taking time to let me contributor first, add role, resource group. Squares. Okay, and now network contributor. Okay. This role is because the connector will manipulate the route table for high availability. And now I have the route via this next hop, but if this A goes down, the B will detect, is checking all time, and will detect A is down, then I will change the route table via my own gateway. This happens automatically. For to this to happen, you need to apply the roles on the VMs. Good, good, good. Apply the roles and configure high availability. Good, good, good. Let's go now to the connectors. And I will do this and configure high availability. It's not active. Do you want to enable it? Yes. In the first, on the pair, I will do manual. And in the other is JSON. I will copy the configuration, the second one. High availability. Well, now is talking with the API of Azure API and checking the roles and all the stuff we created. And now will ask me the route name of the route I want to manage. And I want to manage this route, this name, default to the internet. That the next hop is the connector. Route name, default to the internet, route table name, and resource group of the route. Do you want another route? You can add multiple routes. In my case, no, it's only one route. And computer name of the other CSC. This is the name of the other CSC. And the resource group is the same. Okay. It's validating via the API all the stuff, and I'm configuring not to make mistakes. Do you want to play values? Yes. And in return, it shows this high availability JSON file that is with all the values I need. And the only thing I need to do to configure high availability in the other one is to copy this JSON file to here. 16. Do you want to configure? Yes. In this case, it's JSON. And it's asking me to paste the JSON file. Checking the identity is okay, checking the route, checking the names, all the stuff, and after we'll configure high availability automatically. Okay, it's done. If I want to, let me see all the steps, configure it, route name, apply to the CSCs, show current hub update. Okay. Well, configure hyper route table, apply to the CSC, TSHI. Show next hop for route, current next hop, if I do a refresh here, is the 1.5 and traffic via Zscaler and from the Bastion. All this is from the Bastion host now. Let's put the clear via London 3, and this is the IP of current IP in use. Port quiz. Okay, the Zscaler IP. Check bypass. What is the IP of the bypass? Paste. I'm leaving from this 20 and IP. Okay. This is bypass is working via Microsoft. This IP is via Zscaler. Now, with this information, let me do this. Let me show how it looks like on the show configuration status menu. Now on high availability, I have the information of high availability, is active running, system assigned, Usenet hub 10.15, and the current values configured are this route 1 and the other compute name. In this number 2, high availability also is active, and but in this case the net hub is saying the 10.61.15, but of the other VM, the other CSC in the part is the active. Now let's go to the, takes some time to go down, but come here and let's go to the machine number 1 overview, and let's stop the machine number 1, that is the active one. It takes some time, we need to wait, nothing to do here other than to wait for the machine to go down, and when the machine goes down, the number 2 will change the route and will be the active one on the high availability pair. Let me see what is next on the demonstration. When this wait if shut down and switch to the other CSC. As you can see, it's extremely simple to deploy. It's not, the configuration is minimal on the just external assembly, internal assembly, VPN credentials, that's it, a JSON file for bypasses, and a simple configuration for high availability. It's very straightforward. Well, the machine is stopped now. Then I need to go back and to show that the correcting, wait the shutdown, and switch to the other CSC. If I come to this, the Bastion, well, the CSC2 is the only active. The one is gone because we turned it off. I on high availability information now. You can see that the number 2 is the active, and the next half of the route is 10.61.18. Okay, let's take a look of the route table to see if this is correct. That was before. If I do a refresh here, it will show you, well, let's do a refresh of the page because the refresh of Microsoft Azure is not so good. It's showing the number 8. Okay, then let's do the test again on my Bastion host for Zscaler first. Scroll ipzscaler.com. I'm still in London 3, but now the IP of my tunnel is 200, is the other connector. If I do portquiz.net to show the IP is a Zscaler IP by default, this 224. If I go to ip-maidenheadbridge.com, now the bypass IP is the bypass IP of the other connector, and if I go to IP info, this IP4 belongs to Microsoft. I go indirect. As you can see, it's very stable, strong, and easy to configure the connector. Let me see if I something else to show. Job done. Well, thank you very much for your time. We did all the tasks to show the connector in high availability from the Azure Marketplace. As you can see, it's extremely simple to configure. Thank you very much. You can contact me directly if you want, or contact our sales team, or via our website or our support site. Thank you very much and have a good day.